My name is Dr. Diana Beresford-Kroeger. I am a classical botanist and medical biochemist. I have put a lifetime into saving and collecting the rare and endangered plants of Canada. My arboretum sits in 1 square mile of forest south of the city of Ottawa. Biodiversity is important. It is the web in the tapestry of all life today. Let us begin with this video of connecting with nature by understanding what biodiversity really is. Biodiversity is the mathematical template of all living creatures, both plant and animal. This template for birth and death is the commonage of life. It is found in our solar system as a unique trait of bounty. It is the green mantle of nature. Today, we, the public, are beginning to understand that nature is not just a commodity. It is the tapestry woven out of all of our lives. In this, the human family must look to the leadership of the public service to initiate a new reverence for nature and the environment by understanding its importance as a signpost pointing us all to a better world. I am hopeful that we, the public, can fix the environment. I was told that this would be the case when I was a 12-year-old orphan in Ireland. I was made a Brehon ward with all the instruction that comes with this, all in Irish. This was collected wisdom from the old civilization of the Celts. My books and films have gone all over the world. A few months ago, I was celebrated in Beijing, China. My documentary, Call of the Forest, with its tree guide for North America, has gone viral. I am delighted by the voices of children making a difference, simply everywhere. I believe that the hard-working Canadian civil servants can make a big dent in nature by listening to the public at large. Oh yes, I am hopeful. I would like to see exceptional public servants receive a Prime Minister Gold Medal for outstanding work in the field of biodiversity. The flow dynamics of such a medal would wind its way down into the schools. At graduation, I would like to see the best of the best get a full scholarship to study biodiversity in any of the Canadian universities. Then industry would have to come up to the plate for more prudent behaviour and damage control. This chain reaction has to include consultation with the Aboriginal people, of course. Environmental healing in Canada has to include a revision of the policies to protect the workhorse of the boreal forest system, with grants of money and protective care of the north. This area oxygenates the world at large. Reduce the censorship on public servants who realise that they are dealing with a problem in nature. Clarity is important, twinned with open discussion. Protecting nature is difficult. Understanding is important. Very few people can look out a window anywhere and identify or name a tree, plant, or even a weed. This knowledge was not considered to be important in the past. Now, it is vital knowledge if we are to fix weather patterns, stop galloping fires, maintain aquifers, reduce atmospheric temperatures, and promote iron chelation to harmonise the oceans for fish and mammal populations. All the universities in Canada should have an audit service for those need to understand the great carbon cycle, which is the basis for the ecology of biodiversity. Civil servants should attend these classes. Canada is a unique, sovereign country. Its placement on the North American continent is unlike any country on Earth. The answers to problems in biodiversity hold a similar status. What works for the tropics and the southern regions of the globe do not answer the pertinent problems that abound in this northern territory. The Canadian Public Service must therefore come up with its own answer to protect this immense country. Sanctuaries of the seas around the coastline would be a start. The forests must be protected, especially the older mother trees, for their supply of seeds. This will increase the labile molecular release from trees, which activates clouds for rainfall. Northern forests create potable water. Northern forests can go south, but southern forests cannot go north because of solar changes, for instance. This is important for climate stability. The most important reaction on this planet is the photosynthetic reaction. It is the keystone of the plant world. The reaction is carbon dioxide with moisture and sunshine at the surface of the leaf. This produces oxygen, which flows into the atmosphere. When carbon is peeled off carbon dioxide, it is immediately joined back into another molecule called sugar. Plant biodiversity in all its forms uses this essential reaction to oxygenate our atmosphere. By design, all trees, all forests, and all of biodiversity in the plant kingdom are molecular machines. They scrub carbon dioxide as their daily workload, maintaining a menu for all life. This business comes for free from each genome that is unique. The civil service can make a huge difference in protecting biodiversity. They are the model citizens of this country, making policies that count to protect our ways of life. They must be given the space to succeed. By example, the rest of the country will follow willingly. This is because example is the best teacher for success. And let me give you something from the old world that I was asked as a child to do for the new world. It is a mantle thinking called a seanfhacail. It means ancient words from ancient wisdom. Beg dialat agus gemeg tú meo agus ganairi tú. May the spirits be with you, and may you have life and great life and rise within that. This is considered to be a mantle protection for all those who take care of the environment, all of them, and it stays with you for a lifetime. Thank you very much.